Hello, Luis. Finally, we are here at the Universitat Jaume I in the European and International Projects Office. It has a real pleasure after so many months meeting online in the EDUC Mentoring Program. How has been the trip?
It was great. I really love this region, actually. I really like the university. It's very beautiful. So thank you, Roger, for welcoming me there. And yeah, I'm very glad to finally meet my EDUC member.
It has been a pleasure also to bring all the experience and knowledge and the way you work in the Paris Nanterre University, because it's a way of sharing the experiences and best practices in the frame or the context of the EDUC partnership. I think that has been very useful for both of us.
Yes, definitely very productive. I'm super happy to be there, and I learned a lot from your team and also from the establishment.
A pleasure.
Very nice.
It's mutual. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that French universities have a lot to learn from their Spanish counterparts. I think that there is a lot of technical aspects of your work, organizational aspect as well, that we can definitely benefit from.
I have to say that the things that I most like from my work are those related to working with researchers. Sometimes it's kind of tough, it's difficult, but it's also very satisfactory. I mean, being able to help others or to put in contact with opportunities for getting money, grants, and so on, and mostly when they do the work they most enjoy. I don't know, what are your main challenges or other issues?
Well, it is always lovely to work with professors and researchers. I think that we have to work with them to create new projects and new opportunities for projects. And actually that's why it is also very nice to be there. It's also to see if maybe there is new opportunities of cooperation with you in this regard.
I have to say that meeting you has been very good from the perspective about knowing how other people work, because sometimes we focus in our office, our daily work, and thanks to EDUC, we had the opportunity to open our minds, and it has been wonderful.
Well, actually, I think that what I learned from these couple of days with you, I will definitely have a few things to bring back to Paris and to present to my co-workers there. And I think that most definitely we have a lot of things to learn from each other, and also regarding our processes, management of European funds, international funds.
Yeah, that happens that I mean, we as technicians, we always focus on bureaucracy. Sorry to tell you that way, but that's the most people think on that issues, paperwork, bureaucracy. But really, the best part is trying to make that tough part of the paperwork and law and regulations and so on to something as easy as possible for the other part, the key part, that's the university, that are the researchers.
That's why we have to discuss a lot more to create these opportunities, to ease the burden, the administrative burden for these teachers, and that's why also we are there, to help them to do this kind of project without caring too much about this kind of details.
Creo que también ha sido muy buena oportunidad para repasar el castellano.
Para mí es
Ahora te falta aprender valenciano, porque ya sabes que aquí tenemos los dos.
He intentado en el pasado de hablar valenciano, pero es una lengua muy difícil. Que existe un poquito en Francia, porque hemos algunas lenguas un poquito como en el valenciano en el sur, pero sí.
Bueno, I think this is the issues about meeting other people from other countries. The advantage is that not only that, it seems that everything should be in English and also always the same kind of way of working, but the advantage is knowing that.
Es un placer de hablar castellano todo el tiempo, so para mí, si yo puedo cambiar del inglés, yo soy súper feliz.
An anecdote is that a lot of researchers and professors, there are several phases or steps emotionally involved on the overall project preparation, submission, later implementation, and later finishing. I don't know what happens in that place. In mine, they start with a lot of enthusiasm. Later, they feel overcrowded, saying, "Oh no more! I am not going to apply for any more." That's a huge quantity of work, but that ends by finishing the project, and missing it. And then they say, oh, I had so much good time with partners from other places. I had the opportunity to learn a lot, to share so many things. And at the end, it happens that they apply again. And for me, finding that long-term process, all that they find that good, sometimes hard times, but trying from my duties to make that days more comfortable, it's for me very rewarding.
Making projects happen, creating international communities of professors and teachers via these projects, something that is very rewarding. It is really the heart and soul of my job. Also, I want to say that in Paris we are very lucky to have a lot of international teachers, professors, and also that they are always very enthusiastic to create these kind of projects. So yeah, we definitely, it is something that is very exciting. Yeah.
I have to say also that sometimes there are a lot of issues, challenges, but it's also part of the.
But we are there to make them happen, you know, to ease this kind of issues.
Yeah. Al menos lo intentamos. Bueno, y así también aprendemos unos de otros.
Uno del otro, sí, sí. Es importante, porque es importante de hablar y de venir aquí o en París, es de ver de las maneras que las otros departamentos trabajan. Pienso que hemos muchas cosas a aprender. Sí.